Pretty old chap.
I'm getting there, just going to tighten my belt a little.
I had to do that.
A few pounds.
That's nice. I was just in time for summer. All right, and welcome back to Average Joe and the Pro, or welcome to Average Joe and the Pro. If you're a new viewer, please like and subscribe. I'm Average Joe, this is the Pro, and today we are back at Donal's Golf Academy, the Gleeson Golf Academy, and we are going to go and revisit the lessons that I've had, see how I'm getting on. From my point of view, I feel like I've regressed a little bit, probably not practiced enough. Over to you, mate.
Yeah, look, the golf season in Ireland is a funny one because the weather's so crap in the winter. We do a lot of practice, we do a lot of range time, we look at all our fundamentals, and generally we come out in the start of the golf season, kind of April, May, and everything's pretty good. We play loads of golf, and the worst thing for your golf is golf, believe it or not. If you are not,
it feels like.
Yeah, well, if you're not focusing on your fundamentals, things change. Generally, posture, alignment, ball position, all these things change. Golfers are very reactive. If they're hitting the ball out of the heel, they stand further away. If they're catching it not the way they want to, they put the ball further back in their sets. It's all so reactive, and generally these patterns cause either good things but mostly bad things, because rather than getting to the source of the problem, we kind of always try and find the easy way out. And you'll see when we start looking at your golf swing a couple of things that have regressed back to what you're comfortable with, what you know, which is what we do when we lose confidence. We always go back to what we know, even if it's not the best thing.
And get caught in the middle sometimes.
Get caught in the middle, think you're overdoing the lesson, think you're underdoing the lesson. So there's a lot of psychology to it. So it's always good to get a checkup every couple of weeks. I know most of my golfers will be coming to me at least once every 3-4 weeks, just for a checkup, and it's generally really simple stuff just to keep them clicked in. So we'll have a little look, see what you're doing, and we'll go from there.
Lovely stuff.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so a couple of warmer-uppers.
Right, okay.
Don't take it too seriously, just get yourself moving. A little chilly this morning.
This is my first swing. Just get up a bit earlier. Mind you. Oh, chilly Mac.
Good lad, so. Okay, good lesson, Simon. We'll see you next time. Just keep doing that.
But
Well
funny
done.
enough, that's the problem, is that I can't keep doing that.
I know.
Like the more as you say, the more of those balls I hit, I don't know what it is. I think about what I'm doing, and
Of course you do.
I just would love to have that routine of a swing that you know and trust.
Absolutely, absolutely. So keep going. We'll hit 3 or 4. We'll get some data on the TrackMan, and we'll have a look at some swing videos.
I do have this routine of posture, lean back on my leg, and then try and keep that club back.
Okay, good. And just a couple more for me. Good. And last one.
Ow! Ooh, that one hurt.
Okay. Good pain. Good pain.
That was
We won't want to do that again. Okay, so let's go and have a little look on the TrackMan and see exactly what's going on. So first things first, I would say to you that is a huge step forward from where you were the first lesson. So
Okay.
obviously the more you get into the game, the more expectation you have. But certainly had you hit those shots in the first lesson, you would have been quite happy with them. So we'll have a look at the numbers and see exactly what's going on. So your attack angle there is pretty good.
Yeah.
You're hitting down nicely into the back of the ball. This is a big improvement, your club path, because you used to cut across the ball quite considerably.
Yeah.
And you're not doing that anymore, so you can see how neutral your golf club is going through.
Wow.
We can see strike-wise where the problem lies.
Okay.
So you can see on there that your heat spot is either very high on the face,
Yeah.
or very out of the toe
Which
of
is
the
why it was
golf
going
club.
off to the right a bit.
Yeah, it can cause it to go off to the right. The ones that come high in the face here, if you imagine how much of the golf club is under the ground for you to hit the ball off here, that's going to cause you to catch them heavy. But all in all, I would say that we're in good shape. So if we have a little look at your posture, looks quite good, doesn't it?
Yeah, so one thing that always seems to be that I think about when I approach the ball now, or try to.
So let's run the golf swing, and you can see where the big problem with your stability lies, because we started off on that green line there, which is where your lead hip was, and you can see how much you've moved off it. So we've moved quite a bit off it. And definitely as a result of moving off it, we've lost the pressure on the ground on our lead foot, which has allowed your hips to actually over rotate, and you can see how much your back is over rotated. Your head has had to move a lot to facilitate that, and then you've got to try and get back in the right position. So you can see you're kind of throwing yourself forward, and there's just a real lack of stability there.
So because that leg is loose, as it were, it's knocking everything else off.
That's a pretty good way to describe it, Simon. You want a job?
Yeah, I feel like I'm really struggling with that.
That's okay. That's okay. So that's where drills come in, and they're really important. Getting the right drill is very important. So a very simple one.
Yeah.
That'll make a big difference. A nice chair from our friends at FootJoy.
Nice.
And I have a Pilates ball here. Okay.
Yeah.
So we know, as you're running your swing, there's a big sway going on.
Yeah.
So if I sway, I've dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Okay? You literally dropped the ball, Simon. So what we're going to practice is basically learning to turn nice and fully while keeping just a little bit of pressure on the ball. Now, what I don't want you doing is leaning into the ball.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is feel it's there for your whole backswing. So you can see now, lovely big rotation without the sway. Okay, so jump on in here.
Okay.
And pop your left hip on the ball, just a little bit of pressure on it, not too much. And Simon, do not follow through.
Okay.
I cannot make that any clearer. Do not follow through. So it's a backswing only drill, and I just want you to turn to the top of the backswing, keeping a little bit of pressure on the ball. That's okay. So just really feel you're turning that whole trail side, turn that right side away while keeping a little bit of pressure on the ball. There you go. Good. Now smoothly, concentrating a nice full turn. So you feel a nice bit of resistance with your lower body there. So what we're now doing is turning instead of swaying.
Yep.
And because you're not swaying, you're not taking the pressure off that left foot, so your hips aren't allowed to over rotate. So if you go up to the top and stop, you'll see this feels like a much shorter swing. I know your back is to the target, your hips have rotated 40 degrees, and that's exactly what we're looking for in a golf swing. There we go. And I know that feels quite short. It's short because this is a static or slow movement. When you just do this dynamically or at a fuller speed, it's going to get a lot longer than that.
Also, as a middle-aged man, I feel quite stiff.
Well,
it feels actually quite tight, you know?
It does, but that's the separation. That's what you're looking for. That's where you're going to generate all your power from. It's like getting an elastic band and stretching it and then letting it go. So you imagine the speed you build up. Good. Really good. Simple. So now what we're going to do is just get that same feeling. That big white Pilates ball is there.
Yeah.
And I just want you to feel you're keeping a little bit of pressure in the big white ball, and then a nice turn through. So a bit of pressure on the white ball and turn through inside the brick. Not bad. Little bit of a sway that time.
Yeah, I fell a bit off balance there.
Yeah, because you swayed. That's all right.
Oh, because I swayed.
Because you swayed, Simon. So lead your left hand up on top, right hand underneath. Here you go, just chill out. Sitting into that right side to start off with. Good. Now just really feel you're putting a bit of pressure on that white ball in the backswing. And away you go. Not bad. Well done. That's better.
Hit down on it a bit there, but...
Yeah, a little bit too much, and it's still a little bit of a sway, but that's where your practice is going to come in and working with that drill. So left hand on top, right hand underneath. Good. Now don't overthink it. Don't try and do it perfectly. Just really feel you're keeping pressure on that big white ball in the backswing, and then nice big turn through. Better. Good swing, Simon.
Okay.
That's a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better. That's all we want to do. So we're going to go over and have a little look at your swing on video in a second. Go on, try one more for me. Right, left hand on top, right hand under. Let's do this. Sit into that right side. Bit of pressure on the white ball in the backswing, and then just release that golf club. So pressure on the white ball. And away you go. Attaboy. There it is. Good swing, Simon. Well done.
That felt really different.
Yeah. Good job, buddy. Don't leave
Thanks,
me
mate.
hanging over
Sorry.
here. But see, this is the thing, is when we're working on this, it's quite tricky. We're not going to worry too much about the shots, which is what everybody worries about, because we've got to make a change here for the greater good. I sound like a US president. It's got to make a change for the greater good.
It's going to be great. Your swing is going to be great.
Okay, so like any golfer, your only concern is the golf ball. And my kind of concern is getting you in a position where you can hit the golf ball. Okay, so this is a backswing thing. So I'm not in any way worried about what the golf ball's doing right now, because I'm not focused on it with you. We need to make a big improvement to this backswing. So you can see posture similar. And if we look over at the screen on the right with the red lines,
He's gone.
huge sway. Hips have rotated almost 90 degrees. Back is rotated almost 120 degrees, and your head has gone off over here. Like rotated a lot. It's so hard to get that back square again.
Yeah.
So you look over here, and that visualization that the big white ball was there, you can see how much we've reduced the amount of sway.
Wow.
So you're in a much stronger position
Yeah.
here on that. You've really loaded up that trail side.
It just looks more solid, actually, doesn't it? Just from a...
It looks great. It actually looks really, really good. So you're standing there going, oh, my shots are crap. This is terrible. And I'm looking and going, well, like, this guy has a chance of hitting every single shot under the sun.
Yeah.
This guy's in a position where he's loaded up. So your back is to the target. Your hips have rotated 40 degrees. Loaded up that right side. You can see the lead knee flexing down towards the ball instead of flexing over there. And as you start to transition down, you'll see you're able to burst through that green line without your head flying forward. So now you're in a really, really, really good position there. And if you just look at your head, how stable it stays. Whereas this guy here, you're kind of throwing yourself forward. Left hip is moving down so much. Left knee's under a lot of pressure. Left ankle's under a lot of pressure. And then it's kind of an up and a flick and a pray. So that's basically where we're at, Simon. It is a bit more complicated. Like, your technique has come on so much and it's really good. So what we've got to start doing is isolating down all these little things. Like, the golf swing is made up of so many little movements.
Yeah.
We've got to start isolating all these little things that are going to make you more consistent. And obviously staying in one place and turning is going to make you an awful lot more consistent than swaying and standing and lifting and then dropping and falling and lifting. So you can see how much you've got to coordinate there, and that's why it's inconsistent. Whereas this guy here hasn't really moved back, so he's able to move a little bit forward, get into a good pillar on his left hand side. And if you look at your left knee and left foot going through, it's just so much more stable. Whereas here it's like that little jig that you do. You got to stop doing the jig, man.
Yeah, maybe it is.
You got to stop
I
doing
think
the jig.
also what doesn't help is that I've got very bow legs. I remember a bloke I used to work with years ago used to go, "You couldn't catch a fucking pig in a passage, you mate." and I stopped and I thought about that, and I was like, what does he mean? And I could imagine standing in a corridor and this massive pig running through my legs.
We'll try that.
That'd be a good video.
That'd be a good video. Can Simon catch a pig in a passage? Michael Bannon, Rory McIlroy's coach, and he will tell you himself that he hasn't really done huge amounts of technical work with Rory. And why would he? Rory's an incredible natural player. But the one thing that I've heard several times that he taught him was basically, 1 is your backswing, 2 is impact, post-impact, and 3 is lift your shoe. So basically what that's getting him to do is actually hit the ball with the club and stay very, very present, and then the body comes up after. So if I just do that there really, really simply, maybe I might win a Masters yet. So 1, 2, lift my shoe. You can hear the sound on that, so it's a really clean, crisp strike.
Yeah.
And my microphone fell off.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, lift your shoe. We'll do it another day. But the whole thing is to just wait for the club to hit the ball before you go jumping at it. But if you can box off your backswing today, we'd be really happy. And if I can box off how to do a show without losing my microphone. And anyway, we're not going to overthink today. We're just going to work on that backswing. Better. Good, Simon. So the more you wait for that club to drop down, the better you'll strike it. And again, the other one, Justin Rose, other guy in the playoff.
Yeah.
And what you see Justin doing in his practice routine, I was devastated the English guy didn't win, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure.
Devastated.
I'm sure
Gutted.
most of the country was
Gutted.
devastated.
So what Justin does, he gets to the top of the backswing, you actually see him focusing and trying to
Yeah,
drop.
seen that.
So what he's trying to feel
Yeah.
is that transitional movement, and it's all focused towards staying present with the ball rather than doing the spin out, which is what everybody does. So it's just really that feeling of letting that club drop back into the slot,
Yeah.
which we will get to, but like until you box off that backswing, that's what we work on.
Yeah. Cool. Lovely stuff.
Well done, sir.
No, thank you very much.
Not at all, not at all.